Okay, so this video is about the functions of packaging, okay, or in many ways the specification or the criteria for packaging. So we all know what a design specification or a manufacturing specification is. It's basically a list of criteria or a list of points that are laid out in order to ensure that that product is going to perform to its expected qualities and expected function. Okay. Now, in the case of packaging, these criteria are often very common, regardless of the sort of packaging we're trying to create. Okay, and the kind of 6 key criteria that often come up when we're talking about packaging and the functions of packaging are as follows: inform, protect, contain, transport, preserve, and display. Now, these 6 key criteria, these 6 words, okay, can be easily remembered in product design by the acronym I, as in me, PICT, PD. Now, PICT is not spelt in the normal way, it's spelt P-I-C-T, but obviously P-I-C-T is protect, inform, contain, and transport, and the PD, which is obviously relates to product design, but in this case relates to preserve and display. So if we have to write a specification for packaging or write the criteria for packaging, and we can just remember I picked PD, we will remember that packaging needs to, number 1, protect the item from damage. Okay, so whether this be by putting interior packaging or external packaging such as polystyrene bubble wrap or corrugated card to protect the item, it needs to protect the item. Okay, it needs to inform the consumer, so this might be in the case of, if we think of food packaging, we might need to inform the consumer of any allergens, we might need to give them information on nutritional information or ingredients, or maybe even the weight of the product or serving suggestions. So we need to inform the consumer. We need to contain the item. Okay, this seems completely obvious, but ultimately it's very, very essential. Yeah, we don't effectively walk into a shop and hold out our hands and ask for some milk. Okay, it needs to be contained in a suitable container, whether it's a bottle or a carton or even a bag in sort of new production methods, but it needs to contain the item. It needs to transport the item. Again, seems very obvious, but ultimately we need to be able to get that item from wherever it is, if it's the supermarket to our home or whatever, and this could be a case of transporting the item in the packaging itself, or obviously in secondary or tertiary packaging such as a plastic bag. Okay, this also counts towards the packaging of the item. The final 2, the PD, is for preserve and display. So preserve, again, is very closely related to food products. Okay, we need to preserve them to ensure that they don't spoil, or to increase the longevity of the product, to increase this use by or best by date, as we've discussed in other videos. And finally, it needs to display the item. Okay, because obviously one of the key criteria for packaging is it's the first thing you see with many items. Now, this is especially important of items like fragrance packaging, where pretty much a lot of the cost or the expense of the product goes on the actual packaging itself, which might be the bottle of the fragrance, or the secondary packaging, which is the box, or even the tertiary packaging, which is the branded bag by perhaps a well-known designer that helps you take that item home, but also helps to display their brand and their product to other people.